Hi guys, it's Kaushal, writer, motivational speaker, and life coach, and I'm back with another masterclass on a very important topic. This is a topic that is the bane of existence for most of the personality development coaches out there, for most people out there who are seeking to apply to and take up a leadership position, for people out there who want to do more in life. They know they can, they know they should, but what they lack is confidence. Now, as you know that on this channel we explore a lot of different topics, all of the topics that have some sort of relevance or contribution in self-improvement, self-development and personal growth. We talk about it here. You can go and check out all of the videos. There's a ton of stuff that we talk about, that we discuss, ranging from the nakshatras to personality types to these topic videos to videos on entrepreneurship and motivational videos. There's a ton of stuff here, okay? And so these masterclasses that I'm doing are topics that I have encountered the most as problem areas throughout my career as a life coach, and throughout my entire career, in fact, or from the time that I started public speaking, which was, I guess, when I was 12. Okay, since then, if there are topics that I've come across routinely that people have routinely, asked me to address, or that I myself have been a part of the process of grooming, learning, understanding and teaching, these masterclasses are going to cover those topics which you will probably not find explained this simply and also with so much technicality anywhere else. Okay? Now, when we talk about confidence is not your ability to speak in public. Confidence is not your ability to own the room. Confidence is not your ability to go out there and create whatever you want in your life. No. Confidence is a part of that, yes. But confidence is not exactly that. In essence, if you look at what confidence is your ability to be sure of what you know and how you know it and how you can learn more. So, confidence is your ability to learn, express and handle objections. What do I mean by that? It means that, look, if you know that you can back yourself up to learn something, could be from your field of work, or could be something that you're passionate about, or anything in general. If you know that you can back your ability to learn that, to learn any skill, to learn by listening, to learn by observing, to learn by researching, to learn by reading, if you can back up your ability to learn something, that is one of the most basic foundations for being a confident person. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are a software lead in a big IT company, and now you hear that the recession is coming and all of that, and all sorts of things are happening, and maybe your division might get cut, and the company is streamlining, as they say these days, not downsizing but streamlining and things like that. And let's say you get these rumors that your position or your job might be in danger. If you know how to learn something else, or if you know, that's fine, I'll probably go and take a job somewhere else, or maybe I'll start something of my own. I am passionate about what I want to do, and I know I can back up my ability to learn it. I can back up my ability to learn whatever it takes to become a freelance software developer. If you know that you have the abilities to be able to learn anything new that comes your way, First of all, you're probably not going to be in that much of a danger of getting fired, because most of the companies are able to recognize it. Let's say they are not. Even then, you're going to be confident because I can easily master these skills. For example, let's say somebody who's working for you, you are the CEO, and you have a marketing head that you have appointed in your company to help you out with all of the new digital marketing strategies and social marketing strategies, etc., for a new product that your company is launching. Now you know that he has made a couple of very controversial statements about the company in public. Maybe it was probably unsuspectingly, maybe he did not think of it, he just did that for whatever reason. And let's say you find out that his conduct is questionable. Although he's a great person, he has great abilities, he's spearheading a completely different, strategy. But let's say you find out that his conduct is objectionable, and at the very least, you need to transfer that person to a different office, or you need to transfer that person to a different position. What is being confident here in this place as a decisive, confident leader? It's fine. I'll be able to learn whatever he's done. I'll be able to talk to the people, organize them, get all the facts, get up to date on all the strategies. I'll be able to do whatever I need to do to be able to make up for the absence of this person. It's fine. I can do it. And so, you will come across as a confident leader, but in reality, this is the most basic foundation for this entire building that is confident. It's your ability to learn. Okay? And now you can take up multiple iterations for this. Again and again, apply it to different situations. Consider that as something that you have to do on your own, and please knock yourself out. Any scenario that you take, from your own life or from the life of a person who's famous, who look up to, etc., check that out and see. When you have the ability to learn, when you know how to learn, okay, language is irrelevant. You could be from Philippines, not even know a word of English. It's irrelevant. Okay. What is relevant is that you have the ability to learn. When you have the ability to learn, when you know how to learn things, that's the most basic aspect of confidence that you have already. Okay? Now, the second thing is the ability to express. Expression, as quite often people might say, is not talking in a certain fashion, or writing in a certain fashion, or presenting content in a certain fashion. That's not what expression is about. Expression, quite literally speaking, if you talk about it, expression is being able to take anything that you've learned through life, through the experience of life, and share it and put it into motion in some way. That is what expression is. As an artist, your painting is your expression. As a software engineer, the app that you build, or the program that you create that solves some weird thing that nobody else was able to solve, and you fix a bug, and you organize the whole architecture in a way that was evading everybody else. That is your expression. As a mathematician, a unique proof that you've been able to work on and bring to the world. That is your expression. As a dancer, your dance is your expression. Expression is being able to apply what you have learned. Okay? This is the second element of being a confident person, your ability to express. Now you can, once again, take tens of thousands of examples here. Look up all those examples, take up the examples from your life as well, go through them, and you'll find that this holds true. Every time in your life that you've been certain about something, maybe a subject, maybe a topic, maybe an idea, okay, or a way of doing things, or a process. Even though you may be the most introverted person in the world, you've been confident in your expression with respect to it. For example, your mom. She could be a housewife. She could probably have never ever, seen the inside of her office. And maybe she doesn't even like to read. Maybe she's, completely focused on baking and cooking and cleaning the house and taking care of the children and taking care of the family and everything else. But she can be very confident about a particular dessert that she makes. Why? Because she knows how to make it consistently. I can make it 3-4 days in a row and it will still taste the same. She knows how to do it. That is why she's confident in that area. So confidence is not so much a thing that is a universal expression. You already have confidence in particular areas of your life. Probably you don't even realize it. And if you look into those areas, you will find out that it is the ability to learn, the ability to express. And that brings us to the third point here. Handling objections. What do I mean by handling objections, by the way? Actually, this is a terminology that I've picked up from how we talk about handling exceptions and objections in programming language and also in sales. Because in sales, what happens is when you're talking about something, okay, to the client, when you're making a pitch, and the other person says something to get themselves out of that conversation, that is called an objection. And so if you're talking to a good salesperson, it's very difficult for you to get yourself out of that conversation, and they will use the momentum of your objections in such a charismatic way that you will not even realize it, but you've been on the phone with them for 20 minutes and you have no intention to do that. Okay, so how does that come about? Is that a inborn skill that some people have? That you say something to them and it doesn't matter to them. For example, let's say you say to a person that I don't really like the way you dress. This statement can mean the end of the world for a person who's not confident, who's vulnerable. They might shout at you, they might fight back, they may do all sorts of things. That will embarrass them, that will embarrass you. But you say this to a very confident person, they'll probably not even think twice about it. They'll probably give you something to think about. They'll probably give you food for thought. You could say to a very confident person, I don't like the way you dress, and they may retort by saying, yes, because you don't get it. And you're like, what the hell did he mean to say? I do not get it. Am I not good enough? Am I not as cultured enough? Am I not as sophisticated enough? What does he mean to say? Because that is a confident individual. A confident individual is very confident in their expression. Now, when you talk about expression, well, as I said, it's everything. And so, therefore, a confident person knows how to take the necessary feedback where necessary. And a confident person also knows how to defend their ideas wherever necessary. Now, I'd like to share something interesting. A few days ago, what happened was, I was on Instagram and I followed this motivational speaker. And I won't tell you which nationality he's from, otherwise you'll just go to my Instagram and check it out. But so I like his style and everything. I was following him, and I got a DM from his account that you've been selected for a one-on-one masterclass, or I think it was a coaching session or something of that sort. I don't quite remember, but you've been selected for a one-on-one session with this person. And let's say his name was K, okay, with K, and if you give us more details, we'll just go ahead and fix this appointment, and etc. etc. So I began giving this person more details, who said that they were active on behalf of this motivational speaker K, And then midway in the conversation, this person says, "Oh, sorry, you are not based in such and such country, and we're only looking to work with people from this particular country." Now, I normally don't say yes to any sort of offers that come from any other motivational speaker or life coaches, etc., etc. But in this particular occasion, I said yes because I liked that person, I liked his style, I thought we resonated on quite a few points, and I actually, the moment that he said that you've been selected, I had begun looking forward to it. So now, when he told me that I could not be a part of it, me being the confident person that I am, well, I expressed my objection. I said, isn't doing the homework something that you should do before you reach out to a lead, before you talk to a person? Shouldn't you have checked through the link on my Instagram if I'm based in your country or if I'm based abroad? And you know how he responded? He said, "I'm sorry, mate. Suggestion accepted. Feedback. Yeah, thanks for the feedback." With a bicep emoticon. And that's it. Now when I think about it, I think it could well be the case that it was not somebody who was working for this person, acting on his behalf, but this person himself. Because all great leaders do that. All great business people do that. All great CEOs do that. They make their own leads as well. They conduct their own meetings as well. They make their own cold calls as well. They do not always rely on employees to bring them business. That's not how they built that business. And why are they able to do that? They're able to do that because they're confident in their expression. Because they know how to handle the objection when it comes along. As in the case of this person. This person knew that at the most what's going to happen. At the most this person is going to say something that I don't like, or he's probably going to be rude, etc., etc. If he says something new, well, and next time onwards I know how to respond to that. Okay? So this is something that you need to understand. To be a confident individual, you need to be able to learn, you need to be able to express, you need to be able to handle objections. And if you have these three abilities, then you can pretty much do anything that you want to in your life. Because if you talk about doing a business, like running a business or succeeding in your career, that's all there is to it. That's it. Now, yes, what we're going to talk about in further videos is how can you improve these things, because that's a completely different story. For example, when you talk about your ability to learn, your reading speed has everything to do with your ability to learn. If your reading speed is less than 400 words per minute, you are losing out. I don't know if you ever calculated it or if you ever thought about it, but you should. A person with a reading speed of 600 words per minute is already reading twice as much material as a person whose reading speed is, let's say, 200, 300 words per minute. So, don't think of it like something, like an anxious, obsessive maniac. Oh my God, so much information out there. That's not the path that I'm trying to push you on, but I'm trying to tell you that this is how you can start thinking. Another thing, when we talk about your expression, the more number of languages that you know, the more you are familiar with technology, the more you're tech savvy, that is going to contribute to your level of expression, isn't it? It's going to. If you don't know, if you let's say you're a baby boomer with great ideas. Okay? You're 60, 61 years old, you have a lot of savings, you've already accomplished and created a lot of things in your life, you don't really have anything to prove to anybody, but you still think that maybe, I think I could do more with life. But let's say you know nothing about Instagram, you know nothing about TikTok, you know nothing about podcasting, and you've not even put the effort to learn those things. You know nothing about blogging. See, that severely limits your ability to express yourself. And then that comes to your ability to learn. If you don't even know, if you've never spent time, if you never put in effort to learn these new things and stay ahead of the curve, if you've not figured out formulas for learning new things, then obviously the expression is going to suffer, and then this handling objections is also going to suffer. So what's going to happen is, let's say you make your first video as a 61-year-old vlogger, let's say you put it on YouTube, somebody comments over there, oh my god, this video sucks. That's it, you take it personally. You stop creating any more videos. Why did you do that? Because you don't trust these two things. And that is why you lack this. Okay? So this is something that you need to understand, and we're going to go into much more detail on in another class about it. I'm going to specifically pick up topics with respect to each one of these things. Okay? Now, however, how do you develop confidence? This is what confidence results in. This is what confidence is. How do you develop it? You develop it through self-awareness. That's what you do. Now you see, a basic part of self-awareness has to do with how dolphins are self-aware, how dogs are self-aware, how humans are self-aware. We know that we are humans. Dolphins know that they are dolphins. We know that we're separate, but we interact. All sorts of things. From a purely scientific perspective, that's all that self-awareness is. When you expand that definition, then guess what you have? You have self-awareness not only in terms of your physical existence, your physical identity, but also from a perspective of spirituality. Things like purpose, things like vision, things like, feeling loved, feeling happy within. Those are emotional things, yes. But if you really get into those things, you will see that a lot of them are tied to a huge extent to things that do not have sufficient proof on the physical realm. Those things are not tangible. Okay, let's say you are aware of your ability to dominate a room with your energy. Can you quantify that? You cannot. You cannot put that into specific words or define specific formulas for it. You can't do that. Okay? That is something which is about your self-awareness. Self-awareness comes through self-reflection. You will not be aware, you will not become aware of these things unless and until you spend the necessary time to work on these things, to evaluate these things. Now obviously, as I said, for each of these things, they're going to branch out into lots of other things. For example, learning can branch out into your reading, and expression can branch out into learning about technology, and handling objections can branch out into the phrases that you use, right? In the same way, when we talk about self-reflection, journaling, it can branch out to journaling, right? And you can also use meditation. You can even use prayer. So all of these things are there, which we're going to talk about later. But when you just focus on the crux, when you focus only on self-reflection, you realize that self-reflection is your ability to evaluate the choices that you make, which once again obviously leads you to this place, right? Evaluate the choices that you make. Evaluate the outcomes of the choices that you made. Evaluate the past, the present, and anticipate the future. This helps you then do things, create actions that help you with a better self-awareness, because this entire process comes with trial and error. So let's say, for example, you want to learn how to jump. Okay, you want to become a long jumper. You're not going to know whether or not you're cut out to be a long jumper, or how far you can jump for that matter, unless and until you start jumping. That's the only way. It's only after a few jumps that you'll be able to realize, okay, what am I doing wrong? How can I improve this? It's only after that can you iterate the process and maybe expect a better outcome. But unless you begin, you're not going to know. Same thing when you're talking about cooking, same thing when you're talking about driving. Unless and until you build the necessary self-knowledge by engaging in that process, you're not going to know. Now, somebody can say, but see, that's what we need confidence for. That's what we need confidence for, in order to begin. And what I'm saying is, there are already things in your life that you're doing that you're confident about. You're confident about walking, aren't you? You're confident about wearing your clothes. You're confident about operating a smartphone, right? You see how there could be somebody from a different generation who has a problem with these very same things, with these things, right? Why is that? It's because you have not developed the necessary familiarity with something new to be able to learn it and to learn how you can express yourself through it. So unless and until you, with this trial and error method, start finding out more about yourself, and you can do that in the confines of your home. You don't need to go out and start talking in public to become a good public speaker. Yes, eventually, but you can start practicing in your home. You can start shooting videos on your phone or your camera, then look at them, review them. Same thing if you if you want to be a model. Obviously, you'll have to go to auditions. You'll have to do a lot of other things to be able to become a part of that process. But you can begin where you are, and you can start practicing where you are with what you have. Because at the very least, what this process is going to do, it's going to help you understand where you need to improve and whether or not you are good at it at all. Okay? So guys, with that, I'm going to end this video. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post. I post a lot about self-help, self-improvement, personal development, self-knowledge, personal growth. There's a lot of stuff here. And I'm going to see you next time with another video just like this one, talking about a different concept. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.